village like trustee just like pulled up on me. She recognized me from my TikTok video. How embarrassing is that? Or is that embarrassing? I honestly don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm actually heading to a skate park in the middle of nowhere with about 30 minutes left of daylight in the middle of a town in Michigan that I'm not gonna tell you about till I get there. But this town does not have that many people in it, but I wanna show you their skate park. So we're heading over there and I'm gonna talk about it a little bit because it's in a video that went viral on my TikTok. But I think there's more to it that's worth explaining, but also skate it and see what I actually can skate. And I'm honestly nervous that some of the ramps or whatever might not even be there. Each year when I get there, I'm like, whoa, like this is still there. I keep thinking it'll be gone, and I honestly am scared this might be the year that it's gone. Look at this, this is the road to it. Like, there's literally nothing here. So, let's pop over there and see what's up. Catch you over there. This is comical, I said there's nothing. For the first time in my life, I've found an ice cream place in this town. This town's kind of popping right now, too. I like how I talk about nothing being in this town, and there's literally like 100 people there. Probably a 4th of July party. I wonder if I can even get to the skate park that's like over here somewhere. This is Mecosta, Michigan. And this right here is Bromley Park. This is a town that I can remember since about 20 years ago, which is a long time ago. It's probably about 2004 that I first saw this town. Everything is so old-fashioned down here. Like, look at this, like old-timey place. Across the street, they have an old book gallery. They got someone's shed or something. Look at this car. These stores are just kind of cool looking. They're like very rustic. This is really like the downtown. I think this might be a no-go for the skate park. Not looking good. There's like a ton of things happening here. This skate park has been my local skate park since about 5 years ago. I was on Google Maps one day searching skate parks near me. In this area I stay with my family, and I could not find anything. And I went through this thread. Someone said, oh, I think there's one called Bromley Park. And I was like, that's ringing a bell. Let me look it up. Honestly, this is the closest park, and it's kind of like an easy go-to because I don't have to do like a 45-minute drive. And I was kind of like, wow, there's actually like a skate park here. I'm gonna hop right into the park and talk more about this skate park. All right, let's go find out. Oh, look at this. It's still here. I feel like there was definitely something right there last year that's gone now. They definitely moved the rail. The rail was right there and they moved it here. That's there. That used to be more up here. But yeah, this is the whole entire skate park. I mean, they literally just have this, these 2 rails, and then they also have this bank right here. This little area, and there's barely any room for like run up. I mean, I guess for this, there's run up over there. Funny because this is like never waxed ever. Each year I don't bring wax and I see like, oh, kind of like a wax test, see how waxed it is. So I'm gonna see if I can get on it. Little sticky this year. Let's see if I can get a nose slide down. Oh! Should I try getting a front nose on this thing now? Get front nose like 1 or 2 tries. Oh! That was the second try front nose. I haven't done a front nose slide in forever. I'm scared of this rail right here. Look how tall this thing actually is for such a small park. Why is the pole jam like right there? Who's gonna go pole jam to rail immediately? Maybe I'll hippie jump it. I'll attempt a nose slide on this. Oh God, that's tall. Is it even waxed? This thing's slick. This feels so dangerous. So here's the deal. When I made that video of this skate park, this might be the worst and smallest skate park ever. Check this out. There's a rusted flat bar about knee height. You have this, which I guess this kind of works as a box, but it's all messed up. A rusted out pole jam, and then you have a really steep China bank. Here's the whole entire park. This one's a 1 out of 10. The girl or guy or whoever lives in the house directly across from it commented and was like, hey, look, I live in the house like right there. Like, you know, I saw this video and just want to let you know I like grew up going to this park. I'm like, what are the odds that like TikTok sends my video to people in this area? Fast forward to right now, the village like trustee just like pulled up on me when I was here and was like, you're the one making the video trashing the skate park. Like, I don't want bad PR at this park. And it's funny because like I realized that like normies and people that are like watching my videos on TikTok don't really understand how like TikTok works and how it works to like get views and all that sort of thing. So people do take it to heart when I say like, look at this bad park. Like, whether I mean it or not, people are gonna be like, wow, he actually thinks that sucks. And that video again was just, you know, to get people's eyes on it, to see it. And at the end of the day, like, I do want a park like this to get better. I mean, I oftentimes will like go to skate parks where they're trying to build up a new park and give them my opinion on like what is a good park, what they should put in, what they should install. And the trustee just came by and I gave her a recommendation of like who to talk to help out the skate park. But that's a great segue because I actually wanted to talk about the value of parks like this and why they're like that, because I think I've been so spoiled with skate parks throughout my life. So let's dive into that a little bit. So to catch you up real quickly, that lady who's like the trustee, I was trying to record the conversation, but she was like, she didn't want to be on camera, so I get it. But it was kind of funny because I was like, why'd you see my video? Or like, how'd you see my video? She said someone sent her a clip. She didn't even make it through the TikTok, I think. I think she just saw like part of the clip. And she was like, hey, I want you to like, you know, give this park like good PR and like talk about it in a better way or whatever, right? I think that's what I'm gonna do here, because at the end of the day, if people viewed it as a bad park, they deserve to see like the light in it. And she kind of was saying like she wants more people to come here, but the skate park's like relatively like uninviting. Like you saw the clip early in the video. If you didn't see it, scrub back earlier when I was showing the clip. But this park has very limited objects. There's like a pole jam, there's a really tall rail, and there's like this whole thing, and there's this box I'm sitting on that's all rusted out. And a lot of this has to do with like when you're going to a smaller community, they don't really have as much money for a skate park. And I get that, right? Like I'm spoiled. I live in the suburbs of Chicago. We're spoiled with skate parks. These cities have money coming out their ears. Like this is a very small town. I would be shocked to find out that there'd be more than like 1,000 people in this town. Even 1,000 people would shock me. And I've realized that like through making skate park videos, there's people that are commenting, being like, look at the park that I'm at. They barely even have like a rail. Or like, oh, mine just has a pole jam, but then it got ripped out. I'm just spoiled with skate parks because they have one of everything. But I think the joy, when you really sit down and like think about it, like the joy in this skate park ultimately is that it has a flat ground surface for people to skate. Like there's definitely a good flat ground area right over here. Like again, scrub back on my video if you need to see it. But there's a flat ground area. But I think if you're someone who's driving by and you see this, after like a 15-mile stretch and a 50-mile stretch that way, you're probably gonna stop here regardless because it's something. It's better than nothing, right? And I think that in itself is something to appreciate, because they do have a pole jam right here. It's like not too tall, but a pole jam is definitely not a starter thing at a skate park. Like it takes a long, I've been skating 14 years. I'm very uncomfortable about skating a pole jam. They have a rail that I just showed you. I had a hard time skating. So that rail's like too tall unless you're a biker. So I think that's what that's made for ultimately, because I couldn't really see like a skater that's, unless they're very good getting up there. Like I'm decent and I was scared of that. This box is kind of one for everybody. I saw a little scooter kid riding up here. You know, you saw me hit the box. You can kind of bump here and gap over. Like this is probably the best thing it has. They just need more like surface area with the concrete. And I think at the end of the day too, like if you bring wax, the box can slide. There's parks like this that you can get really, really creative with. And I'm sorry to people that are like, oh, you're yapping or whatever they might say. I just think this is an important conversation to have when I'm showing you a skate park like this, because not every skate park I go to has one of this, oh, one of that, especially this one. I think ultimately I spend most of my time on this. Like last year I learned to get like a bean plant, step on, step off of this. You saw me skate the box. I was learning something where I was like going into this bank. But the scary part about this bank is that it's rusty, so if you fall on it, you're scared of like either probably getting cut by it because it does have some jagged edges, right? There's a couple things that can be done when you look at a skate park like this that are very like cost effective. One, you can probably talk to other skate park builders, and oftentimes like some skate park builders don't even know about towns like this. Like you have to contact them, because if you don't, they'll never find the town that has like less than 1,000 people in it. And if there's enough people in the town that skate, enough people that show that, hey, they need a better skate park here, and they start doing like a petition for it, and they start, you know, filling out forms online, telling them what they need, different designs on it. It could be in talks, but it might be more than the budget that the town has. Like the lady, the trustee was telling me, like, you know, they're working on a budget, which again, a small town that works on a budget, there's only so much they can do. But to be honest with you, I think even if they had not so permanent things here and even just poured a little bit of more concrete going that way, or maybe poured more concrete going that way, just concrete being poured is a bit expensive, and I get that, but I think that in and of itself could make a difference. People could bring in flat bars. People could bring in like their zero ramps. There's ways to remedy it. People can like build boxes. Like when I look at, there's a skate park about 45 minutes away from here in downtown Grand Rapids called Clemente Park. It's a DIY park made by skaters entirely. I don't know why there's so much background noise, but a bunch of skaters came together, said, look, we want this, and they hand built this concrete park. And even today, if I were to go there right now, I bet you there's something new there that I didn't see last year, because they're just like pooling money together on a GoFundMe for this. So honestly, parks like this, if you get people together And even if you find people in other towns and you talk to them, you know, my town could have a skate park in it and it'll be a 20-minute drive for you, or a 15-minute drive. Enough people could probably pool money over time. And if you're listening to this and you think it's a good idea to start a GoFundMe for this skate park, let me know, because I'm more than happy to start like a GoFundMe on my page and build up money to like pool in to get this place to be better. I think skate parks, at the end of the day, this is another thing I want to talk about. Skate parks are very like community driven. There's different communities they build. You know, you get a bunch of people that go and ride around there. You know, you're gonna get the moms with the kids and the scooters, and like that's just like one-off things that happen. You know, sometimes, you know, maybe parents are there with their kids, and maybe parents make new friends and kids make friends early on through that. And I guess that's kind of a way sometimes. But I've noticed with myself through like all the years I've been skating, like a lot of my friends come from skate parks, just hanging out there. You might go day one and know nobody, but after like day 15, you start seeing like familiar faces and you're like, oh yeah, I saw him last week. Oh yeah, wait, I saw you last week. And then you start becoming friends with these people. And I realized like all these people in my life I know, like I would say a good half of them come from skate parks. And now they're not even people that I hang out with at a skate park. I hang out with them in other facets of my life, all because of a skate park. So skate park does bring people together, and I think it's important to help make a skate park better, because when a skate park's better, more people come to it and it builds a better community. But the ultimate question is money. How do we get the money? Well, if a town like this doesn't have the money, like I said, a GoFundMe or something like that could certainly help it. But even the other day I was at a skate park down the street and I met somebody who was like, hey, I was just at the Grand Rapids skate park, and I was like, oh my God, I remembered you from like last year. It's crazy. Like you start remembering people over time from skate parks, and they certainly build, whether it's like a close community or like maybe a distant community from skate parks you don't visit that often. But when you go there, all of a sudden you're like, oh wait, I kind of remember you. And then you get to meet their friends, and then they introduce you to this person, you know this person. It's definitely like a very community-driven thing. And tonight, for the first time, and I'm not saying it hasn't happened before, but for the first time in my life, over a course of 22 years, I saw people right here in this park, like all hanging out for a nice little event. And I'm sure this town has other good things going on. Like I just saw, this town's Mecosta, Michigan. Probably not a town many of you have heard of. It's about, I don't know, like I said, 45 minutes away from Grand Rapids, maybe 50 minutes. There's people, you know, they were jamming out to music. There's people having a little barbecue, having a good time. So there's definitely a community here. I think a lot of people are older people, and if they knew like there was a skate park here, they'd be like, oh yeah, you know, they'd have like their grandson come here and hang out at the skate park. Maybe their grandparents or maybe their parents would come here with their kids and hang out at the skate park. I think it could build a better community that way. I think, you know, when I came here, there was one scooter kid that was here, and he was a little bit afraid to even hit this. And so overall, skate parks are very solid for community. I do think somewhere there should be a fund for smaller towns, and maybe this is already a thing for towns that can't afford a skate park to kind of build a better skate park. Because I think skate parks can also build communities of people that might not even skate. People might just be like, oh, that's kind of cool, I'm gonna go hang out there. And then just end up talking to people. Like I've made friends that way, right? And I'm like, oh, like what kind of tricks do you? And they're like, oh, I don't skate, I just come here to hang out. And I'm like, oh, that's freaking sweet too, you know? And you just meet people like that. So I think when you look at this park, you know, you really have to deep down, like really investigate what is the good of it, right? It's got smooth concrete right here. This box is kind of fun, right? You know, maybe you could get better and learn the pole jam. And that bank, you know, if you get better, you can kind of maybe launch over it or whatever. But you really got to like deep down investigate, because at surface level, you're kind of like, it's uninviting. But after being here enough times, like here I am, right? I could just easily say, I don't want to come here. But I'm here. I came to this skate park, and I certainly, you know, here I met the trustee just coming to this park. She recognized me from my TikTok video. How embarrassing is that? Or is that embarrassing? There's little things that make it good, but it's up to, I think, the city and maybe some skate park builders. I wish skate park builders could have their own fund to kind of just put in a mini park or have like a set park they make in towns like this that could at least be more approachable to the average like random person showing up to the park, right? I think if this park was like considered like good or fun to everybody, every time I've been here it wouldn't be empty, right? Like more and more people would come. You know, it's cool they even have a park in this town, dude. They could just have nothing here and I wouldn't have anywhere to go, right? I could certainly drive an hour and go to another skate park from where I'm staying right now in Michigan each year. It's not that far of a drive. It's really fun for me just to be able to be like, cool, this is here. I just want to hit some flat ground real quick, have a fun time. But, you know, it's fun even just having a solo sesh here. So that's one to talk about. It's kind of like skate parks, community, and my little viral moment and how that kind of connected me to now the trustee, and like somehow people that live around here saw TikTok's a wild beast, but hello, there's skateboarding. I've met the trustee. I'll call that community, you know? She knows who I am. At first, I think she kind of was like, oh, you're the guy ratting on the park or whatever. But then I kind of like, you know, I enlightened her a little bit. And I think she kind of understood where I was coming from. And she might even see this video, as a matter of fact. And I hope that people can watch this video and not be like, oh, that park sucks. Like, I hope people can watch this video and be like, oh, I want to help make this a better place. And if you want to donate to a GoFundMe, let me know. If you know someone that can help make this park a better place, you know someone that, you know, has like, they might have like a fixed budget that can help work on something like this, or someone that you know can do something inexpensive to help this park out, leave a comment down below. It'd be great to make this be a better place for everybody. But if you enjoyed this video, you enjoyed me talking about skate parks, hit that subscribe button, and I hope to see you around for the next video and videos after that. Peace. Leave. I think ultimately, go find the joy in the little things. I think ultimately, this might be a lesson to go find joy in the little things instead of focusing on like the big things. I know that's kind of like a sentimental statement or whatever, but the skate park is just like a little park. You need to find the joy in it while it's here, because it could not be here at the end of the day.